The reason we're here is because I went viral this week, you guys, which I'm a little stunned, but I'm certainly rejoicing. And I know you guys are rejoicing with me. And I wanted to talk about it a little bit. A lot of the things I was always concerned about, like, what if this happens? What if that happens? Didn't happen. Like, for example, everyone's been incredibly kind. And I think we wonder, like, oh, if I get myself out there in a bigger way, am I going to attract a lot of criticism? Are people going to say mean things? We know sometimes, especially on the internet, people say mean things just because they can. That hasn't happened. I'm not saying it won't happen. I don't know, but I'm saying that it was a concern that I had that didn't get expressed. Where are you concerned about? Like, I know this visibility thing is really big for people, especially for highly creative people. We hide a lot. We put on plays in the backyard. We don't show our work to people. We don't show it to important people. We don't put it out there in any kind of meaningful way. And then we feel sort of sad and neglected, but it's kind of our own fault because we haven't really promoted it. I remember talking to a friend of mine who had created a coloring book, actually, that's gorgeous. She had taken it to like a couple of gift stores and a couple of bookstores to see if they had wanted it. And for whatever reason, she didn't get that great a response. Sometimes managers are busy, or for whatever reason, they weren't that enthused. And she was feeling really discouraged and like, oh, nobody wants my thing. And I'm like, dude, you've talked to like 6 people. You haven't even started marketing your thing. Like, I'm sorry, your first couple of interactions weren't so great, but now you have some more information to maybe know when is a better time for me to drop by, or who's actually the person I need to speak to. And do I need to make an appointment with them? And do I need to prep them in advance? Or I don't know. I don't know what would have made that experience better for her. But I do know that we often cloak our fear of visibility behind more socially acceptable concerns. I don't want people to think I'm all that. Well, I'm not really a professional. It's not ready. I'm still working on it. I need to revise it again for the 15th time. We do so many things to snatch our work out of other people's hands before we've even given it to them. Have you kept the work that's important to you in a jar or in a drawer or in a closet somewhere on an upper shelf? I'm here to tell you it's not fair. We love you. We love what you have to share and what you have to offer, and we want to see it. There are people out there who want to see it. And I want to remind you that you are a terrible judge of your own work. You are a terrible judge of your own work. It's not your job to judge your work, right? It's your job to create your work and get your work out into the world, preferably in front of people who will love it, which isn't going to be everybody, right? And I know you're a terrible judge of your own work because I know you've had the experience of you're like, oh God, this thing's awful. Oh God, okay, here it is. And then everybody else is like, wait, what? Wait, did you make that? That's incredible. Oh my God, do you do that? Can you do that again? That's amazing. Can I pay you for that? And you're like, okay. Right? Because your version of a C is kind of everybody else's version of an A. Let's talk strategy a little bit. I want to know what one of my TikTokers says, I feel called out. Yeah, a little bit. That's kind of what I do. Yes, not feeling like it's worthy to share. Again, let me just remind you, it is one of the ways we stay humble to our work is that we do not judge our work. It's your job just to execute it to the best that you can. And I do want you judging it in terms of evaluating your own experience with it. What do I feel like I did well? What do I feel I could do better? What surprised me about the reaction? Like, I want you learning and growing in that way, but you deciding that it's unfit for publication or for sharing, that's not okay. That's not okay. And I will also remind you that the things that you think are like you're waiting for it to be perfect, but the things you love most aren't perfect. You don't love the people in your life because they're perfect. You don't love your favorite movie because it's perfect, or your favorite book because it's perfect. In fact, my favorite book is decidedly imperfect, but that doesn't stop it from being my favorite. So here's my question is, what would you like to go viral for? Rachel says, I love staying humble by not judging my own work. That's right. June says, what if it's really great and people want even more from me? Right. That's sometimes the other pressure. Like, oh no, what if it's great? And then and then I have to be great all the time. You know what? Quit trying to manage things that haven't happened yet. Quit trying to manage things that haven't happened yet. Put it out there, see what happens. If it's great and people want more, then do more. And if that's not as great, or it's more great, or like deal with it when it happens. But you cannot tell if it's a good idea to dance by standing against the wall of the gym. You got to get on the floor and dance and know that to a certain degree, yeah, you're going to look like a jerk, but you get to dance, which is way better than standing against the wall of the gym. I say that like I would know. I never went to a dance ever. So Yes, my favorite movie for the longest time was Lady Hawk. Right, exactly. Amazing amounts of people love that movie. And it is not, by any stretch of anyone's imagination, a perfect film, but it moved something in you. It touched you. And that's true of your work too. I don't care if you're painting dogs playing poker, which, by the way, I love dogs playing poker, or you're creating little rhyming limericks, or you're making gardens out of things that everybody has access to, or if it's your recycling system that it's a thing of beauty. I mean, it doesn't have to, I'm not necessarily talking about creating art here. I'm just talking about the work that matters to you, whatever that is, that thing that you wake up every morning going, gosh, I wish I had more time to do that, because that's what I love. That's not just what you love. It's what you are here to do. It's what you're here to do. You are here to share that which is inside you to be shared. People ask, what's the purpose of life? The purpose of life is to experience your life in whatever capacity you have to experience your life. That's it. That's the whole banana. The purpose of your life is to experience your life to whatever degree you are capable of experiencing your life. And part of that is expressing yourself through the work, the activities that you love. So this is actually a great segue to my actual question, which is, what would you like to go viral with? What message would you like to be sharing that you think the rest of the world should hear? If I gave you a billboard in Times Square that you could put anything you wanted on, or a billboard that the whole world could see, what would you want it to say? What one message would you like to share with the world? Mine might be, by the way, you look really great today. Because it's my experience that in general, people look pretty great and they like to be reminded of it. Hi, Aubrey. Topher says, good morning. Missed getting my weekly dose of Sam awesomeness. Oh, I'm so glad you're here, darling. I'm so glad you're all here. This is really exciting for me. So what is it? What would you like to share? What if you had one message or one clip or one sentence or one feeling, one phrase that you would like to share with people? What is it? Poetry before housework? Be kinder? Would it be a reminder to be kinder? Michelle says, what if you don't want to put anything on a billboard? Too much attention going to me. Right. So again, this is that fear of visibility getting in the way of you sharing a truth that other people might really need to hear. So let's say, just for the sake of argument, that your identity would be masked. No one would know it was coming from you. I'm just curious what the message would be. What do you feel like if you could just take every person and say, look, just try this, share knowledge and life. Yes, I love that. I love that. Share knowledge and life. That's a great statement. Kano said, a little haiku to honor Sam and Sammy's unique, gifted soul. Create in 15 minutes. You exist for this. Thank you, Kano. That's beautiful. Jessica says, we are all going through the same shit. LOL. That's what I would put. Yeah. That's a great message. I would love to drive by that billboard and go, yeah, that's right. Everybody's going through the same shit. My burden is not heavier than anybody else's burden. Everybody gets the same amount of pain. Some stories are more dramatic than others, for sure. But I'm telling you, as hard as your life is for you is as hard as everybody else's life is for them. We all get the same amount of pain. We also all get the same capacity for joy, right? Ish. I realize there's some wiggle room around that concept, but play with the idea and see where you go with it, right? Lean into love. Oh, I love that. Show more compassion. Yes. Oh, Rachel says, mine currently is the wisdom you seek is already within you. You guys are good. If you want to change the world, start with yourself. Yep, that's good. What else would you put on your billboard? Take your time. Catherine, that's beautiful. Take your time. Don't be in such a rush. Yeah, I love it. Veronica says, I might say, add a splash of IPA to your risotto. Freaking life-changing. That is such good advice. I love that. Never occurred to me to put my IPA into my risotto, but I might try that tonight. Rules aren't all they're cracked up to be. That's right. That's right. What about you guys on TikTok? What message would you want to share with people if you had the chance? When the mud is ripe, the lotus appears. Oh, Reverend Joanne, that's beautiful. When the mud is ripe, the lotus appears. Yes. All right. So how enriched are you feeling by hearing these messages? You are enough. Embrace diversity instead of fearing it. Yes, Michelle. Rosalind says, you are okay. Yes. Julie says, spill love. Yes, spill love. Let love overflow from you and drip all over the place. Make a mess with love. I love it. Kindness matters, says Leslie. Yes. Kindness matters. Change doesn't happen when you're comfortable. Yes. Ooh, that's good. So if you were to share that message with the world, what result would you want? Everybody to be putting it on t-shirts? Would you want there to be a new custom of saying, my kindness and curiosity greets you? Have it be a phrase in the world like, hey, let's get together and spill some love. Want to? Let's spill some love in the coffee shop. And what I want to tell you is the next time you're having that, like, I don't know what to say feeling, maybe start with this. Start with one of these phrases that inspires you, right? So someone's asked you for a comment, or someone's asked you to do a presentation, or someone's asked you for your advice or your input. And you may say, well, I'd like to start with some kindness and curiosity. First of all, I'm so grateful that you would ask me to do this. And second of all, I'm curious about what kind of feedback you would really like or would be helpful to you. Now you have a come from that is mirroring your value system, that's having an effect on someone else. And now we get this sort of alchemical effect because they go, oh, thank you for that kindness and for your curiosity. Let me be more precise in my request. And now we're having a really great, deep conversation like that. And not just, no, I thought it was great. It had a good beat. I could dance to it. Whatever. So how could you spend 15 minutes just getting your message out into the world today? Could you make a little Facebook meme? You could make a little meme on Canva if you want to just be pretty, but you could also just type it out. Could you text a friend? Could you share it on some group you're in? See, Lori says, oh, my column is called Living on Purpose. My message, live on purpose. Right. So your message is about intentionality, right? What is your purpose? How is your life folded into your purpose? How are you expressing your purpose each day? Don't let yourself get stuck. Anytime you're feeling like, oh, I'm stuck, go to your purpose. It'll guide you. It's right in front of you. It's right in front of you. Great. So thank you for sharing these ideas with me and with yourself. And I hope that you will find a way to get these ideas out in public. Maybe you could design a t-shirt on Zazzle or Cafe Press or Lulu or some other, some print on demand. You could have a little journal for sale, or just make one for yourself. Make a little poster, make a post-it. Don't worry about it being all perfectly schmerfecty. We care about the truth of you. We care about hearing your perspective, and you're sharing your values of kindness, of curiosity, of diversity, of expression, of experimentation. That's what makes you beautiful in the world. We're not looking for perfect. We're not looking to pick apart your outfit or say that you're too old. When somebody gives us something of value, we don't pick them apart. We say thank you. I'm not saying it doesn't happen that people don't get picked apart for no reason. Of course they do, but it doesn't have to happen. And you should not live your life in fear that it's going to happen. Look, we all lived through 7th grade, right? And it was hell for everybody. It was hell for the popular kids, and it was hell for the unpopular kids, and it was hell for the kids in between. It was hell for the weird kids. I can speak on behalf of the weird kids, but we're not in 7th grade anymore. We're grown-ups, and we're in charge of ourselves. And we can be the source of kindness, be the source of understanding, be the source of love in the world. People are looking to you for it. We already sense it from you, right? You'll be a fantastic graduation speaker, Sam. Thank you. I'd love to. I'm available to speak at your graduation. Steph says, I found you a couple of days ago on here and I feel very familiar with your soul. Sounds weird. Oh, thank you, Steph. I actually just sent something to the other day to someone I just met. And I said, it's so nice to meet a new old friend. And she wrote me back. She's older than I am. She's like, what do you mean by old other than age? And I'm like, no, I didn't mean age at all. I just meant sometimes you meet someone and it's like they're an old friend, but you've only just met. So they're a new old friend. So welcome to all my new old friends. Welcome to all my old new friends and my old friends. Great to see you all. I want to invite you all to jump over onto my email list at therealsambennett.com because we got a lot of free cool stuff happening, including it's not too late to join the Get It Done Lab 90-day productivity sprint. You can see all the information about that at therealsambennett.com/lab, LAB. It's also not too late to join the daily practicum, which is 15 minutes every single workday for you to spend time on you. And so for that, you can check out, it's part of Lab, but if you only want to do the practicum and not all the rest of the things, you can go to therealsambennett.com/practicum and just join us for that. Good. Anything else? Looking forward to session 1 this weekend. Yes, I'm going to redo session 1 of the Get It Done Lab. So this is why I'm saying it's not too late to join, because I did session 1 last Saturday, but I'm going to do it again this Saturday because for reasons of my own, I felt like re-recording it. So that's what we're up to. Good. Any other questions? Anything you're uncertain about? Do people care about my viewpoint? Really? Yeah. Yeah, they do, Rosalind. They do. And if they don't, then you're not talking to the right people. Right? So don't stay where you're tolerated, go where you're celebrated. If your viewpoint is not being sought out and received, then you're not in the right room. If you're the smartest person in every room, you're not in the right room. If you feel unseen, you're probably not in the right room. You might also be hiding. So you can check that with yourself of like, okay, if I make myself more visible, does that help? But I'm here to tell you, Rosalind, your viewpoint matters. Your message matters. Your truth matters. It may not have mattered when you were growing up. It may not have mattered to your first boyfriend or girlfriend or whomever, somebody who influenced you strongly as an adolescent, but it matters to us now. You have a lot of hard-won wisdom, and we want to hear it. We need it. We need it. So quit talking yourself out of it. Okay? Quit talking yourself out of it. Steph says, I'm transgender. That line hits home. Yeah, I bet. Have you ever taken Myers-Briggs? Would you feel comfortable sharing your type? INFJ. Woot woot. INFJ. Woot woot. There's not that many of us. We're special. Session 1's focus for the Get It Done Lab is about clarifying which of your 97 ideas you should be working on now, how and where you're going to find the 15 minutes a day to do that, and how to stop self-sabotaging, right? We're going to end that self-sabotage immediately. So that's what happens in session 1, and it gets even more exciting in session 2. Yes. I'm an INFJ too. Hey, Fran, that's awesome. This has been great. I think it's worked out okay with the TikTok thing. Did it bother you guys, the split focus, or was that okay for you? Because if it works, then I'll do it again. Jennifer says, I love you. You're the bestiest. You're the bestiest, Jennifer. Jennifer just got a new puppy. That's the bestiest. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I can't do this without you all. That was one of the first things I asked Sam too. INFP, I needed to know. That's funny. Dose of Sam is good, even with split focus. Good. Veronica says, I quite like the look of it. You're going to give Jeremy a run for his money, cutting together the split looks too. I know. Jeremy, let me know if you want me to re-record anything. I love you. This is our video editor. Heather Lee says, it's like letting go of a breath I hadn't realized I was holding when I stumbled onto your video. We need your voice. We need your wisdom. We need your humor. We need your silliness. We need all of you. Feel celebrated. You're essential. We'll talk more about that next week. Join INFP. INFP. Interesting. So many INFPs. Very good. Thanks, bunches. My pleasure. My pleasure. All right. Let's do one more breath to close out this circle. You ready? Let's inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for doing this with me. Thanks for being here at TikTok. Yay, all my new friends. Hi, everybody.